going to be having today, this first section today is going to be an orientation and a welcome. And God is going to help us to be able to cover all the grounds that we need to cover. So you are welcome. If you have friends that have signed up for this class or for this course, ensure you reach out to them that we have started and we are live right there in the class. So let me share my slide with you, and then I will just take us through a mini introduction, after which we'll be able to have some of our facilitators share one or two things with us. And then this section, I'm also going to be sharing something with you that will be so helpful digitally and in terms of technology. All right, the course is called Digital Course for Teenagers and for Young Adults, but everybody is welcome. And we are believing to be able to cover grounds like graphic designs, video editing, website design, mobile app development, audio recording and editing, as well as some layers of video animation. Okay, what is the objective of this course? What is this objective? What are we trying to achieve? At the end of this 4 weeks training, what are we trying to achieve? Number one, we are trying to expose attendees to easy to use platforms, digital platforms that will enhance your productivity, easy to use, platforms that will be easy for you to use. If it is graphic designing, we want to expose you to a platform that will be easy for you to do graphic design. If it is a video editing, we want to expose you to a platform that is easy for you to do video editing. And we promise that it's going to be as practical as it should be. So we are not going to be doing too much of talking. It's going to be hands-on. So if you don't have a laptop, it's going to be advisable that you try. But if you don't have, there are some of them you can do on your phone. And in some of our classes as well, we'll try to show you some mobile apps or that is also able to do some of the things that we are going to be sharing. Number two objective of this is to be able to empower the attendees with digital knowledge that can also position for income generation. Like we all know, we are in a digital age. The age where we are now is a digital age. And one of the things that there will be more demand for is skill. We are in such a time that if it's either you know how to do it or you have to pay people to do it for you, because these are things you really can't run away from. So more than that, we are also going to be showing you as part of this training how you can monetize some of the things you are going to learn, how you can start creating income streams from them, and also how you also can be exposed to platforms online where you can also be creating income streams. Now, when we talk about digital tools, what are we talking about? What do we mean? Digital tools are programs, they are websites, they are online resources that can make tasks easier to complete. So digital tools simply represent online things, tools. Tools talks about instruments, websites, platforms, programs. They could be mobile app, they could just be an application or a website that you can get things done easily, and it also helps productivity. Now, why do you need digital skills? Why should you have digital skills? I want somebody to say something at that junction. If you have an idea of this, you can just probably just raise your hand, and then let me have your view on why you believe that digital skills is needed. Why do you think we need digital skills? Yeah, you can just raise your hand, and then I will unmute you, or you can unmute yourself. You have the permission to unmute yourself and share something about it. Why do you think digital tools are needed? Why should we have digital skills in this age and time?
All right. I would like to say good evening to everybody there, or good day. Precisely to me, I think the digital tools are the tools that you can use to enhance more graphical artwork that can make your work easy.
That's right.
On the system, or on your phone, or on your app. It's like an app.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate that contribution. So digital tools are platforms or apps that you can use to make your work easy. So in other words, digital tools actually make your work easy. They make it easy for you to get work done. All right. Any other person wants to, say something on why do we need digital tools? To you, why do you believe that we need digital tools? Or why should we have digital skills? Why should we be skillful digitally? Any other person? Is there anyone contributing to that?
Um, I have something to say, sir.
Okay.
I believe that as human beings advance, as we go through life, in this day and age, there are more advancements in humanity, and one of those advancements is technology, and just having the knowledge and how to use it and how to use it to its fullest potential, to its fullest extent, is something really good. And one way that we can achieve that is through learning how to use digital tools. So it's more just like, I wouldn't say, it's more just um, going with the times and equipping yourself to make the best out of the situation. That's why I think why we should learn.
Thank you so much. I believe that's thank you, Damilola. Now, so digital tools helps us to be able to do more. It helps us to be able to do more. Thank you so much for that contribution. All right, let's go back to our slides so that we'll be able to move faster to the practical side of training today. And so we basically need digital tools to be able to enhance our work. It helps us to do more. It helps us to get result on time. And beyond that, also, it helps us to be able to monetize our skill. Number one, digital skills helps you to be ahead. Digital skills helps you to be ahead. In this age and time, I don't think there will be any organization that there will not be a demand for digital skills. Now, some of the advantages of digital skills is that you can do it from anywhere, any country. I have people that are living in places that you call third world countries, and they are being paid in dollars because of digital tools. Digital tools gives you exposure to it gives you global relevance. If you know how to do it, there will be a demand for it. There will be a demand. There's always a demand for graphic. Even in this age and time right now, there is no organization that will not need something to do with graphics. So digital tools or skills helps to put you ahead. So it is very important that that's why we extended this to teenagers, so that at the teenage years, you are already developing skills that can give you advantage and opportunity in the market space. Number two reason why you need digital skill is that digital skills will boost your creativity and drives innovation. With digital tools, you can just be seated and, ideas will come. You can create it. Like, for instance, now, I think it was last week. Yeah, it was last week that I was just sitting down. It just dawned on me to create a mobile app just simply for prayers. I just did the whole thing in a day. Just in a day, I put all the things together, created the mobile app, submitted it to the app store, and bam, got approved in a day. And my assignment is just to keep pushing it. And anybody can do that. So it boosts your creativity. If you know how to do it, ideas will keep coming. And it also drives your innovation. Number three, digital skills helps you to create income streams. And that is also very important. While everybody's complaining about the pandemic, some people are smiling to the back. Talking about Zoom, talking about all the cloud services, everything right now. And it's a pointer to the future that we are going to be in need of more people that have built themselves in being able to leverage on digital things, being able to use it. So what are we covering in this class? Number one, we're going to be covering graphic design. We're going to be covering basic video editing. We're going to be covering website design. We're also going to be looking at some things we call explainer video. They are like video animations, explainer videos, something for those of you that joined the class early, you will have watched some things. So something like that is a little connected to something like that. Mobile app development, we're going to be looking at how you can start creating mobile apps, and I'll show you how you can submit it to the App Store. We're going to be looking at audio recording and editing, how you can record yourself. You can actually do this with your phone also. We're also going to be looking at some other digital tools, like I'm going to share very soon, that you can start using to further enhance what you are already doing. And also in some of our classes, we're going to be showing you how you can start making money online. And when we talk about money, we are not talking about becoming a billionaire tomorrow. We are not talking about get rich quick. I'm talking about how you can, number one, use some of these skills you have to start creating income streams for yourself. I have one of my graphic designers in Nigeria. I don't know him. I've never seen him forever, but he just reached out to me in my inbox about 3 years ago and said, "Hey, sir, I'm a graphic designer. I would love to do you a sample. And if you're okay with it, I can be doing your graphics." Sincerely speaking, I can't tell you the amount of money the guy has made from me, because he has just been the one doing the things. Just from there, he got the job. I gave him job. I introduced him to so many other people. Now, the reason why I was able to do that was because he knows how to do graphics and, basic graphic design, some of our flyers. From there, he came back to me, said, now I can do website. I've given him almost 3 websites to do right now. We have never seen, I don't know where he lives, but because of what he has as a skill, he has been able to open an income streams for himself, and he still does. So some of these tools, they are powerful, that you can start creating income streams from it, even from where you are. Not only that, we're also going to be showing you some platforms that are already available online that you can start generating little in there, little in here, just from where you are right now. I don't know if you're excited about this, but I'm excited about what we are going to be covering in this training. And I'm so elated because it's going to be powerful. Well, right now, I'm going to bring in one of our facilitators, and she's going to be taking us through just an orientation. And she's going to start our class today. I'm excited about what is going to happen. She's going to start our graphic class today. So today we're going to be having the graphic class. So what we're going to do is that instead of breaking the class, we're just going to just continue. So once we finish the orientation, she will just take over the class and do the graphic class. I mean, the introduction to graphic designing. And then I will definitely be back before that class to share with you one or two digital tools, and we're going to do a practical demonstration right here on how you can start to use those, how you can start to use them. Okay. All right. So right now, let me bring on Aderonke Badeojo. She is just going to do a little introduction of some of the classes she will be covering, and we'll take it up from there. Well, write in the comment box in the chat room. You can tell us your name and where you are joining us from, so that we keep that going. Don't unmute yourself. Just let's chat on the chat box, your name and where you are connected from. We would like to know that. All right, Aderonke, over to you.
Good afternoon or good morning, good evening, everyone. My name is Ronke, and I'm a graphic designer and web designer. So I will be teaching us the basics of graphic and web design over the course of this month. And I can't wait to start. We're going to learn a lot of things. We're going to do some hands-on. We're going to really start from the basics so we can build our way up from there. And I can't wait to start teaching everyone.
All right, thank you, Aderonke. So I know definitely you'll be sharing some few things more on some of the things that will be needed in the class. What are some of the tools that they will need to, some people were asking me, what do they need to download? So Aderonke is going to be sharing that with you in our classes, what softwares we're going to be using. We're not going to be using every software. That's why we call it easy to use. Some of the things that will be easy for you to use. And we're going to be sharing some of that with you. So what classes are you going to be covering in this training, Aderonke?
Yeah, I'm going to be covering graphic design and website design. So for today and next Friday or next Monday, we're going to be having the first and the second graphic design class. Then the next week, we're going to be having website design, 2 classes each.
All right, so she's going to be taking us in 2 classes each. So that is 4 classes altogether. You don't want to miss our class. And consistency is very important also in this thing, because that is part of the things that will give you leverage. Consistency is important. So don't skip classes. We're also trying, we are recording our sections so that I know some people will say, can we have the slide? Can we have this and that? So what we're trying to do, this is absolutely free. We're just trying to be a blessing and add our own value. So we're recording it. We have a private YouTube class for it. So after all the classes, the next day you're going to receive a link so that in case you miss a step, you can go through it and practice it by yourself over again, because we're going to be giving you projects to be doing and you're going to be submitting it. We want to make sure you get it and you get it done. Thank you so much, Adironke. All right, I'm going to bring up administrator, and that is in the person of Sheyiton. Sheyiton, you can unmute yourself if you are there, and then let's have some of the things that we need to know about these classes.
Okay, good day, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're from. My name is Sheto, and I'm the administrator for this special. So I'm just going to be going through a few guidelines, just a few rules and regulations. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. I have a PowerPoint. Let me see how I can do that. Okay. Okay. All right, so as it's loading. Okay, so welcome to the class. Welcome to the digital trading courses. I'm sure we're all excited to start learning. Okay, so here are just a few rules and regulations. So number one, all attendees are expected to join the class at least 5 minutes before the class starts. So that way you are not late, or you don't miss a sentence, or you don't miss a particular class or something important that is being announced before the classes start. And number two is to ask questions. Attendees must signify by raising hands or waiting for question segments when the instructor is teaching. So that way you don't distract people who are listening, or you don't start to cause a ruckus when you want to ask a question. You can just type in the chat section that you have a question, and someone is always going to be looking through. So that way we can always mention your name to see if you have a question, or wait for your instructor to tell you to ask questions before you can ask. And number three is every attendee must submit projects and assignments. This is very important because this is how we track and see how people are doing and what people need and what people want to know and what people don't know. So that way we can go through courses and go through the things we need to really emphasize on during teaching. And number four is no discussion in chat except approved by the instructor. Again, it's just to emphasize that there's no need for distraction, so everyone can listen and learn at the same pace. And number five, the final one, is no distractions. Attendees have to be muted while class is going on unless answering or asking a question. So that way, as I said before, there's no need for distractions. You can just always signify by raising up your hand or chatting in the chat section that you have a question, instead of just muting and unmuting. So that way everybody's listening and learning. So does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, you can unmute yourself just for, if you have a question, and let's try as much as possible to do it orderly. So if you have any questions, some of your questions will be attended to in the class. But if it's just a generic question, you can ask it right now before we get into the next phase.
All right, so I heard someone has a question.
Can I ask the question?
Yes, you can.
I just a general one. Are we going to get like notes for these classes?
Pastor.
Like what it's called? Are we going to get like notes? Is that a question?
Yes.
Okay. We will try our best, but the truth is that we're trying to do hands-on and practical classes. So that is the reason why I said that we are going to send you the link to the recordings so that you can go through the classes over and over. But sincerely, we are not trying to do like what's it called? Theory. We are not trying to do much theoretical things. We want to make it practical because it's a crash program. So if you want to do graphic, you might always do graphic for like 6 months on its own. So we're trying to do for 4 weeks for all those layers. So it's going to be more practical. However, if we have slides, we will send it to you. If we do have slides for the classes, which we're trying to do. But for most of our classes, it's going to be practical. We're going to take you to the website. We're going to do hands-on. We're going to have you do yours, and then we're going to compare it together. So, but you will have access to the video for no payment. It's free. Jesus gave us free, so we are doing everything free.
All right, any other questions?
Yeah, there is a question.
Okay.
Yeah, my question is this: for those people that are unable to attend a class, maybe due to work schedule or something of that nature, after the class, what of like a video recording or anything? Maybe it can be kept on for a long time on the website so that somebody can go back to it to review everything so that they can be able to follow up with the class.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that question. Like I did say, we are going to be sending you the link to every class. Like today now, after we finish today, by tomorrow, you will receive an email with the link, and we're going to put it also in our WhatsApp group. So if you have not signed up on the WhatsApp, I want to encourage you to go sign up on the WhatsApp, because that is where it will make it easier for you to receive correspondences and information. Like I've had people say they have not seen the email, they couldn't receive it, and do. Some of them got it in the what's it called, the spam box. So we don't want that to continue more. So we're going to be trying every class we have. We're going to send a reminder in the some hours to the class, and then the next day, if we can't do it the same day, you will receive a link to watch the class. And so we are recording it, and we'll make that available for you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So while we continue, let me bring in our third facilitator. She's going to be taking us on some of the things that will help in terms of being able to generate some little income streams online. And that will be in the person of Adetola. Adetola, are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Just say a little word and, let know what you'll be covering.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, or afternoon. My name is Adetola, and I'll be taking the class on how to make money online. So this is not necessarily the make money, get money rich fast. Like Pastor said, this has been tried and tested, and I work for them, and they've paid me most of like my income. It's not necessarily a big income where it will like pay all your bills. It's just something to support you and have like an additional income to your main work. So I'll be telling us ways we can make money online from the comfort of our homes. Like most of the times we've seen where they say work from home and make some money. I've tried, some of them are now viewed, they will tell you to pay first before joining, before having to work. But this one is like you actually apply, it's like a real job, and you can work like 20 hours a week. So during my class session, I'll be telling us ways to apply, how to pass the exams to actually get employment, and ways to make more money to add to your income. So I'll be looking forward to having everybody present during my class session.
Thank you so much, Adetola. All right, so those are the facilitators. They may look younger, but they are loaded. So we want to thank God for their lives. So everybody, once more, you are greatly welcome. We, as part of what we'll be looking at in our class, and I'm going to join in that also. If you can write, you can make money online. If you can write, you can make money online. So if you are good at writing, if you can transcribe, you can be a ghostwriter. There are other platforms that we want to expose you to that can help you. So we're going to be chipping them in. And then I believe everybody should have the schedule. So if you don't have the schedule, they will put it again on the WhatsApp group today, and then you'll be able to access it. So make sure you have the schedule so that you know what days we are covering a class, because I saw some people selected the classes they want to attend. So you'll be able to see the days we're going to have a class, and then the timing. And I have some people who I'm still working on that. So if you're in that category, you can go to the WhatsApp group and, make the comment in there. Some people in some countries that the time will be maybe in their midnight or something, in the middle of the night for them. So I'm trying to see if I can create an extra class for those people. I'm still thinking on it, depending on our availability. But this class will hold this same time, Fridays and Mondays. So let's take note of that. All right, we're going to start today. I'm going to start before you go into the full graphic class. I'm going to share some few tools with you. Now, as part of what I'm going to be sharing in some of my sections, I will be covering sections like the section on mobile app development. I'll be covering sections on audio recording and editing. I'll be sharing sections on video editing, and then what other thing? Then the video animation or the explainer video. I will also be sharing with you some of the platforms where you can start creating income streams from the things you are already learning. All right, so I'm going to be talking also about digital tools. So in all our classes, every day we are meeting, I'll be sharing in one way or the other, 1 or 2 tools that you can start using immediately, and this will help you. So when we talk about digital tools, they are the instrument that you use to do things online. They could be an app, they could be a website, and they could be some platforms that is available online. I'm going to try and see if I can share 3 with you. And today, one of them is not going to be on my slide, but it is a mobile app, and I'm going to have you download it. I will share it with you very soon. But the number 1 tool I want to share with you is how you can remove background images from or background from an image. And we're going to do hands-on. So if you're on the computer, you'll be ready to work with me. If you are on the phone, you can also, yes, they have a mobile app right now. I don't know if they have for iOS, but I know that they have for Android. And I'm going to have you search for it. So in case you can find it, we can do hands-on together before we start the full graphic class. So this also will help you in the graphic class or in your graphical work, because one of the challenges that we are used to have is that if you have a picture and you want to remove the background for the picture, is either you have to go and use, then we're using CorelDRAW, Adobe, and you have to trace it. But now, as technology advances, tools have been made available that are very easy to use, that just like a magic, you can remove the background from an image without, I just press a button and the whole background is gone. So it reduces the time that you spend on it. So the tool we're going to use is called remove.bg. If you have your own laptop or computer, you can go to the website remove.bg. Remove.bg. B as in boy, G as in girl. Very easy. It's a platform where you can easily remove background from a picture, and then you can also change the background. We are going to do that right now. So this is practical right now. So get ready for class. This is practical. If you are using your phone, you can go to the website remove.bg or go to your app store. Let me see if they do have app for, I know they have Android app. I don't know if they now have the iOS. Let's see. Let's go there. So go to the app store and look for that, remove.bg. Now they have a paid version if you want to, but I'll give you a strategy for it also works on your browser. If you are using a Google Chrome, go to the browser and type remove.bg. And if you want to go to the app store, you can also search for it there. Let me know if you find it. I want you to be able to say, yeah, if you find it. Okay. It also have app. It is also on the app store, but it's also on the app store. Is remove.bg. Now they have about 4 of them there, but this is the sign you will see. This logo sign. Let me see if I can have my mouse here. Okay, spotlight. You see this logo sign? This logo sign here, that is their logo. That is the logo you will see on the App Store if you are using Android. So make sure you take advantage of that. That is their own. All right. Somebody is dropping a chat on me. You found it? You found it? Okay. I want to make sure you found it. If you find it, type it on the screen. You find it. Then you can also go to the what's it called? You can go to the browser and just type in remove.bg. Okay, so right now, what you just need to do, if you have any image that have an existing background, and you want to remove that background from that image, Because if you want to do, let's say you want to do a graphic, you want to do a banner or a poster, you definitely need to use an image that doesn't have a background, that is free. Or you also just want to change your background. Let's say you took the video in a bush, or you took the picture in the bush, and then you now want to show as if you are in America or you are in London. You want to have a Londonic background. You can always use these two. So there are two ways to go. You can upload the image, or you can just drag the image onto this. So let's go. Let me look for an image on my screen. All right. I think I find one. Then I'm going to use this guy here, and then I'm going to drag it. Just drag it right there, and the magic begins. So that is my image. It looks like me. It has a background. Let me show you the original. This is it. The background is a colored background. The colored background. Then once I dragged it in there, it will just remove it magically. I don't know if you saw it. Yeah. So that is how it works. This is the image, and you see that it removed the background, and now I have an image that is background free. So did you see that? Did you see the magic there? So now this saves you from all the tracing. You don't have to do the tracing. You don't have to, when you are tracing, you can cut somebody's head away, but this one makes it extremely very easy for us to do. So it is easy. It's called remove.bg. Can you try your own and let me see? Try your own though, wherever you are too. So you have your image. So this is what you can use to remove background from an existing image. So this is the background. This is the new one. Now, you can have an account. They will give you a credit if you want to download the high quality, the high resolution quality of the full image. The high quality is 25 megapixel, but the low quality is 0.25 megapixel. Now, the truth of the matter is this: when you the low quality is free for you to download. It is going to be good, but it will not be perfect like high quality. But if you want to download the high resolution, you just need to put in your email address, and they will allow you have a credit to download it for free. So let's download this one now without the background. I just click on the download button. Are you following me? Let me know if you are lost, and then I'm going to open it for you to see. Let's see. I don't know if you can see it. It's asking me, don't pause it, resume sharing. I want to show that. Okay. I need to share it with you separately. All right. So this is the image now without the background. That is how the image looks like. That is the hand there. So this is it without the background. It's transparent. This one is transparent right now. And that is how to I came late. Is the section, is the next section the same? I'm not sure. You can watch the video. Okay. So this is the background. This is the picture without the background. Can you see that? So what we use was what we call remove.bg. I just showed you how you can remove a background from an existing image. All right, let me show you another one. Still using remove.bg. I want you to try it on your end. Let me see if I can find another image here, and then we'll try and see how we remove background. It can remove from any image, as long as it has a background that you want to remove the background. All right, let's see this guy here. I want to use the man holding the microphone, and I don't want all this background there. So you see the original, very thick background. Very thick background. And look at it after he has removed. All I need to do is to drag it in. He has removed all the things that is at the background. Now you are left with this podium. Now, if you want to do some few editing to make it perfect, of course, you can cut this one here. You still have what you have, but you can do edit. You can click on the edit button. Let me know if you are following. Then you can erase some part of it, have it erased. I'm going to reduce the brush size, and I want to cut off this podium. Do you see? Can you see that? So I'm going to just cut it off from there so that it doesn't show in my image. So as I'm erasing it, it is also clearing away that part of the image. So when you want to use the picture, you can always use the part that you have without the, what's it called? Without the podium. Am I making sense here? So you can download that. When you click on the download, what you have is that one that is called the low resolution, but it's still going to be very good. You will be able to see it. It's going to show wonderfully well. Let me show you that particular new slide there. So you see how it looks now. This is the one without the podium. So it is a good tool for you to use, for you to remove background images. All right. So did you get anything there? I want to hear from you. Let me have your comment. Were you able to pick anything from there? Oh, somebody already submitted one. That's good. Okay, somebody said I did, but my background did not totally remove. Now I showed you how you can use the eraser to erase some of the background. Eraser to erase some of the background. All right, good job, good job. Now we're getting there. Somebody already, you can help me check. I didn't help me check that image so that it won't stop my slide sharing. Okay, so I want you to try that out. So remember what we're talking about. They are easy to use tools that makes it easy for you to do some of the things that used to be extremely very difficult to do before. Is somebody trying to ask a question? Now, that is part one. Now, still under this one, I don't want to just remove the image. I want to change the background. So you see now I have a different background here. I want to now change the background. Maybe that background used to be like in the wilderness. I'll just click here also on edit. You see the edit button. Now here under the background, you have access to backgrounds that are already made. Now look at all this. If you want to do color, if you want to do a color background, you can choose any of these that is already made. Like the background before was something else. I changed it to this red color. I changed it to this purple one. So when you download the video, the image now, the background color would change to this new one that you have. I changed it to yellow. I changed it to black. Now somebody say I want to choose my own color. You can choose your own color here. Just click on. You can just click on the choose your own color, and you will be able to have your own color. Please, I need that person muted. I need that person muted. Thank you. So that is how to be able to do that. So you can change and choose a color. You can choose a color like you want. Can anyone give us a color you like, your best color? Mine is always blue. So that's why I wear so much blue suits. So that is that. And if you want to change it to a more, photogenic background, they already have some photos here, background photos are already made. And if you have your own, you can import it, upload it. But look at this one. It's taking me, this one is taking me to like a place where there is a, what's this thing at the back of my, that's like a banana leaf. So it looks like you actually practically took the picture there. Can you see how it's blended? So if you want to go to sea level, let me increase this so that I can see. Let me see. You see right there that now I'm at the, I'm in front of the palm tree. Yeah, I want to go to the sea now. You can see that I'm standing on the sea. So you can take your picture somewhere very far in a country that nobody can mention and just change the background and pretend as if you are in Israel, you know. So that is the power of this. You can also have some wonderful background that you can, you know, it helps you to be able to change the background. You can stand in front of a cat if you want to change the background. So right here, you see I'm standing in front of a building and I don't own the building. I don't know where the building is. So this is one of the things you can use to change your background. Now look at this. This looks very wonderful. I'm going to download some of them so that you can see how it's going to show. Okay, I'm just selecting what they have already done or what they already have here. So if I click on download now, I can download the image. I'm going to show you now. Give me a minute. And then where is my image? This is it. This is the new image there. You see now the background has changed. I now have a different background. I'm standing on the water. All right. So that is how you do this. Is there anybody with any question? Did you get anything there? So I just showed you how you can easily remove background images from or background from an image. So does anyone have a question as it relates to that? I want you to try your own. So if you can get the mobile app, it's called remove.bg. You can use the mobile app. You can go to the website remove.bg and it will help you. It's very easy to use and it is going to get the job done for you. Remove.bg. All right. Any question? You can unmute yourself and ask your question, or you can just drop it in the comments if you have any question as it relates to that. So that's one of the digital tools you can use. So even while you take your graphic class, some of these tools like that can be shortcut. And then I don't know if the graphic class will cover some of those, like show you how to trace an image. And if there is time, I believe that will be covered. Anybody with a question?
The post is moving on. Ready, go, boy.
Okay, so try your own and you can post it in if you have it. Let's see what you are doing. Post it in here. Let's see your work. I want to make sure you video background. Wow, somebody was asking. I like that person that asked that question. All right, let me show you. That is going to be my tool number 2. And now that person already just said, hey, you're not going to go with that. We need to get that one too. Okay, let's see. Where is my slide? Let's go back to my slide. So remove.bg is the one to remove background images or background from an image. The next one is how you can remove background from video, how you can change a video background. Now, this one is still in what they call a test mode. It's in a test mode, the mode where they are testing it. So it's not yet perfect. However, when you change the video background, instead of allowing you to download it as a full video, it will only allow you to be able to download it as a GIF, like a GIF. So that is what it's on this at the moment, but it's also a very great tool. So let me take you through that briefly, and then you will be ready to take your graphic class. All right, so that one is called onscreen.com, onscreen.com, onscreen, screen.com. Like I said, let me see if that one also works on the browser, but it works on the computer, and you can try to find it. All right, it works on the browser. If you are using a Google Chrome, it works on the browser. And let me see if it is also on the mobile app on screen.com. On screen, they don't have a mobile app for it yet, but yeah, they don't have, I can't find a mobile app for it yet, but I believe we'll be able to see some other one there. Okay, so on screen.com, this is where you can remove background videos. Let me see that question. Somebody is asking me a question. So it is still in what they call the beta test phase. They are testing it, and wow, good job, good job, good job. All right, so that's what we're talking about. We want to make it practical so you can also see hands-on how you can do your own, and it helps to be able to get results. So now you can start that right there. Okay, so remove video background. It's also still free, and there is possibility that some of these free platforms along the line might be requesting that you pay something, but at this moment, at the point of this training, it is 100% free. So and you can try it out, and if you sign up with the email, they give you room to be able to download the professional higher quality version. So the same thing, all you need to do is to drag your video or upload your video in. So let me show you that one. Upload a clip. It must be a clip. It's not going to be a full video. It's going to be a short clip. Let me see if I can find one video here that is not a short clip video, and we're going to try it on that. I'm trying to see, my videos are always long videos. So let's see this one. 2 minutes. Okay, let's see. Let me put this in here. 2 minutes video. All right, so it's going to prepare my video. All you need to do is to upload it. All you need to do is to upload that clip. It's a video clip, and it will remove the background on the video. Now, if you want to do for a full-fledged video, ensure that the video is recorded on a green screen or a green wall or a green background. If you record a video on a green background, you will be able to remove the background using some of the video editors we're going to share with you. I'm going to show you in my class how you can remove background from a video if the video is recorded on a green screen. That is the only way you can remove it due editing. Now, look at this. So they said the clip is limited to 5 seconds. They are for longer video is coming soon. So they don't have that right now. So you see that. Let me see if I can show you that original video. This original video that I uploaded here. Let me see if I can show you the original video, and you will see what it was on the background. This is the original video. I'm going to show you on the next box.
Hello, this is
let me get it out of volume. Okay, so hold on for me. I'm going to show you now. I'm going to show you the original video, and I'm going to show you this one that was edited or that they removed the background. So see the video. The video has a background of its own. It's actually a house of its own. Now, when I put it in to where we are editing, look at what it turned it to. It removed the old house behind it. The software removed the old house behind it, and now it's giving me opportunity to add a new background that I want. Now look at it. They have given, okay, this is the original video. If I can see it here, original video. This is the transparent video. Now, if I just want to put an image behind the video, I can change it. You see, that is a still image. All I did was to put a still image, selecting from some of their images here. Now you see me now, I'm in somewhere in, maybe this looks like Rwanda, where they have they have banana leaves there. Can you see? These are some of the images they already populated. I can be, oh my God, this looked like a mommy water or papa water here. So you can have different background. I can sit in the middle of the road, but make sure the car is not coming. So you can also do color. Hope I'm not losing you. I know I'm a little bit fast. You can change it to color. Are you following me? If you are still with me, say I'm getting it. If you are getting it, say I'm getting it. I want to make sure you are getting it. Type, say I'm getting it. Okay.
I'm getting it.
Oh, you getting it? Okay. Oh, I appreciate that. You getting it? That's good. If you want to use the video back, you can change it to video background. You see, cars, I'm in the middle of a road. Oh, wow, this is magical. So this is what you can do with Techno tools, easy to use. So what we used for this is called on screen. And remember, it's just a video clip. They won't allow you download for now the full video. They are still working on it. So this is in the testing mode. You see that I remove the original background, I replace it with a new one. So let's download it. It will allow you download it as a GIF or an animated PNG. So they have not yet allowed it to be downloaded as an MP4. They are still working on that. So I believe that in the next few weeks, it will be fully functional. However, if you want to be able to remove background from a video, ensure that the video is, if you are not using tools like this, is recorded on a green screen. If it's recorded on a green screen or a green background, you can change the image to anything or the background to anything. I'm going to take you through that in a video editing class. I believe the second class of that. So we are trying to download this. I know this might take some time on your side because it's video. Videos are heavy, so you can try it later. And for those of you using a phone, it might have a challenge allowing you to, but you can try it. It does work. It does work. These are platforms I've used, and we're trying to download it so that you can see how it will practically and physically work. Okay, so now we are done. I'm going to open it up for you to see. Wow. Let me show you what it did. Okay, this is it. So this is the downloaded version. Can you see? But it's just going to be a GIF. So you see there that it removed the original background, replaced it with me in the midst of children that are skating. You see? So that is how you, what for now, this is just going to be maybe 5 seconds or something. But as they keep working on it, they will be able to give us the good version of it. So I believe you got this info. Is what we use is called On Screen. We used onscreen.com, onscreen.com. So get them, write the websites down if you are writing and if you are taking notes, and we'll be able to pick it up from there. So I want you to do something on your own. I want you to do something on your own. I want you to come up with, okay, you are using an Android phone, you are getting it. Okay, that's good. Sir, we this work with other background? Yes, you can import any other background. You can import your own background to it. You can import your own background. Yeah, we'll be able to add a logo to the video editing tool. When we get to video editing, you'll be able to add the logo. You'll be able to change the background and do some other things you want to do. Oh, somebody already submitted his own. Let's see that one. I don't know, let me check that out. All right. Okay. We want to make sure that it is as practical as it should be. Have you getting something today? Has this been impactful? Has this been eye-opening? Just type on the screen, type in the comment, this is eye-opening, this is impactful, I have gained something. So if this is what you gained today, at least your time has not been wasted. But you know what? We are just starting. We're going to be starting the graphic class in the next 5 minutes or so. So I want you to be ready for the full, okay? So I want you to practice this for the next 5 minutes. Practice this for the next 5 minutes. It looks great. You have done yours. Oh, wow, that's good. That's good. That's good. Now, one of the things we want everybody to do, we want you to get your own Google Drive, because some of the projects you'll be uploading it on your personal Google Drive and you'll be sending it to us so that we can review it and show you some things that you might need to work on. Thank you for the feedback. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Well, we are going to start, but before we go, I want you to practice what we just showed you. If you can do the picture one, if you can do the video one, lay your hands on it and then open your own Google Drive. Now, let me show you how to open Google Drive for those that don't have one already. We want you to have Google Drive. So all you need to do is go to Google and you can just type Google Drive. Google Drive. All right. Let me Google Drive. It's a free cloud storage platform. Maybe by Monday, I will share with you as part of the digital tools about 5 free cloud platforms that you can have, so that you can, be storing your content on the cloud and save the memory of your phone, or the memory of your phone or your computer. So Google Drive is free. It will give you 15 gigabytes, or it will give you 15 gigabytes. So you can use Google Drive. Let me use a whiteboard here. So I will show you what we're doing. So go over to www.google.com/drive. That will give you Google Drive. Or you can just go to Google and search for Google Drive. So that is what you need to do. Everybody that is in this class, you need to have a Google Drive, a cloud service, so that you will be able to upload your works there, and then it's easy also for you to submit it to us. All right. So thank you so much for joining our orientation class. We deeply appreciate you, and we definitely know that you have gotten something. Okay. How can you send your work? Now, what you need to do, go to Google Drive, upload it on Google Drive, and then we will send you it will put an email, or we're going to put an email out for you that you can send a link to, so that we will be there. And if you are trying to submit it on this class, you will need to have a computer. If you are using a phone, it may not allow you to be able to do that right away. Okay. So as we get ready for the graphic class, I'm going to play you something. And if you have any question, please, you can go ahead and ask your question. Please go ahead and ask your question if you have any question before I get out of the class, so that you can have the graphic class for the next few minutes before we go today. All right, so make sure you practice what you've learned, and set up your own Google Drive, and you will receive the videos of these classes as we continue. Thank you so much for joining us. Get ready, don't go anywhere. I don't know if it's going to come up in the next 2 minutes, but while we are getting ready, watch this, and then we'll be back.
Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the mental and emotional preparedness, as well as ability to deal with difficult and challenging circumstances. Courageous people do feel fear, but they are able to manage and overcome their fear so that it does not stop them from taking action. Courage is about doing what you're afraid to do. There can be no courage unless you're scared. Have the courage to act instead of react. Oliver Wendell Holmes. Courage gives you the ability to put aside your fear of failure and take the first step. You need courage to begin something. Courage allows you to attempt things that you have not tried before, despite your fear of looking foolish. In your pursuit in life, when you lack courage, you will be easily cornered. Benjamin Beckley. Courage is a necessity to overcome fears and achieve a desired goal. Courage is the ability to confront fear, pain, danger, and uncertainty. To develop courage, acknowledge and understand that courage is not the absence of fear. John Wayne said, "Courage is being scared to death, and saddling up anyway." To build courage in life, read about the courageous acts of others. It is very inspiring and offers examples of possibilities. To build courage, start small, start somewhere, start somehow. To develop courage, develop faith and confidence in God. Believe also in yourself. A courageous mindset is the product of faith, self-confidence and positive thinking. Rise up, build courage, face your fear, and pursue your dreams.
Thank you so much for joining our first class. We appreciate all of you. And we will be starting the graphic class. And if you have questions, you can keep pumping them in. Make sure you sign up. Number one, ensure you are part of the WhatsApp group. Information is easy there. It is a very streamlined WhatsApp group. We only post things relating to this class. So everybody is not going to be posting, it's only the admin. And when if we need to have chat, we open it up and we close it. So make sure you take advantage of it. Get your projects done. I'm looking forward to receiving them before Monday. Do your own, background removal. Use the tool. Do as much as you can. Practice and practice. And then you can tell somebody, I can change your background. I can bring you from Ajegunle to America. You can always do that for them. All right. Thank you so much. We're going to be having Aderonke as we go to the basic graphic class. And I want you to ensure that you enjoy the class. Thank you. Aderonke, over to you.
So today we are going to be going over the basics. Then, can everybody see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're going to be going over the basics. The next class, we're going to do some hands-on, like practical today. And the next class is going to be more and more practical. And the next class is going to be next Monday. So a little bit about me. I'm a graphic designer. I've been designing for about 6-7 years now. I taught myself from scratch how to design and how to design websites. And I now work full-time as a graphic designer with a company that I've never met any of them before. It's fully remote, and that's like my full-time right now. So I'm saying this so we can know the opportunities that are available with learning a digital skill, like Pastor has said. And I also want to make sure that if you're on the computer, please send yes to the chat so I can know as many people that will be hands-on in this class. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm going to start telling us first about the most basic softwares that people use for graphic design these days. We're going to start with we're going to use the easiest one, but the more common ones that most professionals use right now. Thank you. I can see everybody typing yes. Thank you. The most common ones that professionals use now is Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to be switching my screens a little bit so you can see how those softwares look, but we're not going to use them today. We're going to use a simpler one today to start. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, change my screen to Photoshop now so that we can see how that looks like. So this is Photoshop. This is mostly used for, I believe everybody can see my screen too, right? Photoshop is mostly used for, like Pastor was sharing today about removing backgrounds. Most, like at the beginning level, you can use those websites that Pastor mentioned. And yes, it's good. Those websites are very easy. Sometimes I use them like when I'm trying to work fast. But the more professional, industry standard ones that people use are Photoshop, Adobe product. So this is Photoshop. It's much more complex, much more on the expert side, but this is it. So when somebody asks you that, graphic design, you're proud, you can say that, yes, I know the graphic design softwares, like I'm not a learner anymore, I know stuff. So I'm going to switch. And the second software that most designers use is Illustrator. So I use Illustrator for logos. So Illustrator is mostly used for vectors. Vectors means logo. So if you are taking notes, you can take note of this. Vectors are logos or designs that need to be made bigger or made smaller. So Photoshop is used for designs like flyers and invitations, while Illustrator is used for vectors, and vectors are mostly logos. And the final one before I go back to my slide is InDesign. So I use InDesign, and most people use Adobe InDesign for magazines, for books, for layouts information. So it's mostly used for making books, basically. So I sometimes have some clients who want me to make a PDF, make it this, make it that. You see how many pages are here. So that is what Adobe InDesign is used for. And I will try to send my slide. I'll ask Shaitan, the admin, to send the slide to everybody so you can always refer back to it. So now I'm going to go back to my Google presentation so we can go on from there. So this is what this looks like. Photoshop, we already said that. Give me a second. Okay, Photoshop mostly used for design work except vectors. Like I said again, vectors are logos. Illustrators mostly used for logo designs and making illustration work. Illustration is like cartoons. So cartoons are made with Illustrator. And InDesign is mostly used for books and for magazines. So today we are going to be using Canva. I feel like a lot of people might have heard of Canva before. Canva is not a software. It's an online graphic design tool. So it's easy for you to learn the basics of graphic design with Canva before you start learning the more powerful software like Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, things like that. So today we are going to use Canva. And if you're on your computer, please, I want us to go to www.canva.com. That's where we're going to be doing all our design work for today. So can everybody go to canva.com for me, please? And as you do so, can you be saying it in the chat that yes, you're on Canva? Let me know. I'm going to try to sign up, open Canva on my computer here so we can see how it looks like. Okay, you're on Canva. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm going to share the new Canva screen so that we can see. So this is canva.com. I already have an account with Canva. Yeah, if you have an account, just sign in. If you have an account, just sign in. So this is how Canva looks like. So you just have to sign up. If you don't have an account, log in. This will be easier if you're on the computer. I want to hear if you have anything, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to unmute yourself and just ask any questions. So has everybody been able to go to canva.com and sign up? Click sign up. Or you can quickly sign up with your Facebook account to make it faster. Well, I already have an account, so. Yeah, if you have an account, just go ahead and sign in. Is everybody here? I want some feedback because this is pretty hands-on. Like I have to be hearing everybody. We have to be chatting so we can follow through. Graphic design is not just theory. It's very hands-on. Okay. Yeah, okay. Is everybody able to sign in, log in, or anything? Okay, I'm just gonna move on ahead. So once you have the Canva, once you've signed up, or if you have an account, just log in. So we're gonna get on to designing something today. But first of all, okay, good, you are there. I want to tell us the basics of graphic design so that we can design and we don't break any of the graphic design rules. Because there are rules in graphic design, believe it or not. Like if the professional designer sees a design, they can usually tell that it is not a professional or it's a learner that designed it. So we want to be designing in a way that our design looks advanced. Is everybody hearing me? In a way that our design looks advanced. So before, like years back, there was a style of graphic design that was reigning. There was a style of graphic design that was the big thing that everybody would like, that was it, But now there is a style of graphic design that is reigning. Graphic design changes. So there's a style that is reigning now that people will pay you bigger money for compared to the style of before. I don't know if everybody is understand what I'm trying to say. So that being said, like I said, I work as a graphic designer, so I know what people will want to hire you for compared to something else. So moving on, I'm going to go back to share my slide, my PowerPoint slide. Yes, so I believe everybody can see this. I'm going to make this small like this so I can be seeing everybody's chats too. So before you start any design, there's always one thing to have in mind. And again, like I said, we're going to design today, but we need to go by these principles. Before you start any design, there are main things to have in mind. You have to have a goal in mind. So let's say you're designing a flyer. Let's say somebody calls you and asks you to design a flyer for the church for a video. Let's say for a video. So the goal for the flyer is to inform members of the church for a video. Let's say somebody calls you and says, please design something for my business, a flyer for my business. We're having a sale. Let's say we're having 20% off sale or 50% off sale. Now the goal for that flyer design is to convince people to buy. So it's different. So whenever you're designing, let's say you want to design and you want to design as a business, because I design as a business. So say you want to design as a business. When a client comes to meet you and says, can you design so and so for me? So you ask them, what's the goal? So once you say what's the goal, then they will say this person knows what they are doing, you know? So yeah, it says have a goal in mind. There are different goals, like a flyer or a church graphic is to inform members of an event, or a birthday invitation is to inform people of an event. But a business flyer or a business 50% something is to convince, okay? And number 2 is to know the targets exactly. Oluwase, yes, have a marketer's mindset, exactly. So I'm teaching us design from an aspect of making money from it, not just for, side something. I mean, yeah, you can learn it as a side, but like if you want to know graphic design in a business way, you have to operate from this mindset. So we are going to go to design for sure, but we need to learn this first. Now, number 2 is to know who the target is. So you're designing for a 5-year-old birthday invitation. So when you're designing for a 5-year-old's birthday invitation, there are colors you use because children like colors, bright colors. So that's why you see that toys are always in bright colors like red, yellow. So when you're designing something for a 5-year-old's birthday, right, you want to use the colors. When you're designing for a church, mostly blue, because it's blue kind of signifies like holy and clean and things like that. So that's number 2. So 1 is to have a goal in mind for who you are for the reason for the design, and 2 is to know who the target is. So now I'm just going to run through these 5 rules and then we'll start designing. Okay, is everybody here? If you're here, please say I'm here, so I know I'm not talking to myself. Please say in the chat that I'm here. I can hear you. Okay. Thank you. So the 5 basic rules of graphic design. The first one is to be consistent. So I'm going to show you some examples, right? When you see somebody that is just playing with design, most of them use so many colors in their design. But like I said, we are designing in the way that is in style right now. We're designing in a way that people or companies will see and they want to pay bigger money for, compared to $40 designs. We are on another level, okay? So when you're designing professionally, you don't want to use more than 5 colors. You don't want to use more than 3 fonts. And fonts are basically what you use to write. For example, this is a font. Consistency is a font. This is another font. So you basically want to use no more than 5 colors and no more than 3 fonts. For example, look at this design. I'm going to answer your question, so let me finish up with this number 1 answer, number 1 point. So for example, if you look at this graphic, you can see this one. I believe everybody can see my screen. You can see this one. You can see how this looks. It looks very amateurish. It doesn't go well together. Even you that are not a designer, you can tell that this is not very looking, it does not look good. And you can see that there are multiple colors here. But if you look at this particular graphic, or this is a logo, if you look at this particular logo, you can tell that there are multiple colors in there, but the colors go together. The colors are not clashing each other. So that is number 1 rule in design. Your colors should be complementing each other and your fonts should be complementing each other. So Mr. Olashe said, as a graphic designer, are there color rules? Like, are there colors that are not acceptable? For sure. For example, in this graphic, you can see these colors clash together. So I'm going to show you a site where you can use to pick colors that merge together. I'm going to take a note of that so I can tell us the colors that merge together, that work good together. There are color rules in design. So all colors do not go together and all fonts do not go together. For example, this background brown, this yellow and this green, they don't go well on that background at all. They are clashing. So on to the second one. You don't want to use too many fonts. As a professional designer, as a more advanced designer that is designing expensive looking design, that's the word, design that looks high end, you want to use as minimal fonts as possible. So in the modern design, less is always more. So now you look at this graphic, you see there are a lot of fonts. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fonts, and it just looks amateurish. And there was a time that design like this might have been trendy, but now it's not anymore. Now look at this other design. We really have just like 3 fonts in there, or 3 fonts in here. And you can see how this one looks more high-end. It looks more professional. So before I move onto the next rules of design, does anybody have any questions on this number 1 rule of design? Does anybody have any questions? Okay, I'm going to move on. Now, the second rule of design is that your design has to be clear, has to be readable. There has to be clarity in what you're designing. And I'm not going to drag over these things too much so that we can go straight to designing. But number 2 is it has to be clear. Your fonts have to be readable. Your colors have to be readable. Everything has to blend together. We don't want to be looking at your design and to be like, what is this? We don't understand what this is. I believe everybody understands what clarity is. So this is an example. We have this font, good, is very legible. Now this font is not legible. When you're making a text like this, a body of text for people to read, a body of text is text that are stacked together like a paragraph. So if you're taking notes, you can take note of this. A body of text is text stacked together like a paragraph. Now, this body of text is easier to read, while this body of text is not. And that's because the font is not right. So as you're designing, the more you design, the more your eyes will be trained better to see design that is good and design that is not, or colors that are good and colors that are not. So this is an example of bad color choices. For example, if you look closely at this graphic, you can see that this background, right, is kind of bluish, I don't know, bluish, maybe greenish, but this particular color does not read well on this background. But this color reads well on this background. Okay, aqua, okay, this color is aqua then. So this color doesn't read well on this, while this reads well on this. If you go on to this, you can see yellow. Whenever you're designing for kids, yellow is always like a popular color. So this color of pink does not go well on this, but this blue goes well on that background. If you look across everything, you can tell. For example, this brown background, this color does not go well, but this goes well. So when you're designing, you always want to have that in mind. And it's always a rule of thumb. This is another trick, or maybe rule. It's a rule of thumb that when you're designing, you want to have one light color, one dark color. Then the other colors you can do as you please. But one light can you mute yourself? I think somebody's yes, I'm going to try to send our Google Slides out. I'm going to have Shaitan send them out. So it's a rule of thumb, one dark color for like the text color like this that would show up, and one bright color for like background color, and the other colors, you can use them as accent colors. Now, accent colors are colors that just add more flavor to the design. For the white background, it really depends on how dark the color of the font is. Yes. So when you have a white background, white is a lighter color. So you want to use a brighter, a darker font color. I don't know if that answers your question. So white is always typically is a good background to use for fonts. But when you're designing with colors, you want to make sure, I'm going to show us a tool that we can use to pair colors together in our design. I'm going to move on. I don't want to bore us with too much theory. Okay, so another rule of design is white space and negative space. Like I said, nowadays your design has to be clean and simple, and that is what people want right now. People don't want the design that is all jam-packed with things. It's not trendy anymore. It's not raining. Nobody will pay you good money for that. So you want to avoid overcrowding. You want to make things very, very simple when you're designing. So this is an example. If you look at this first one, you can see here's an example of white space, lot of breathing room for the content and blah, blah, blah. But this one, you can see how everything just feels very clustered together. And it's like everything is jam-packed. If you're a good designer, or maybe you're even not, your eyes can sense that whoever did this just started designing. But whoever did this is more advanced. So less is more in design. Less is always more. Even most parts of life, less is more. But in design, especially, less is really more. I'm going to show us another example. Now look at this. This is like a magazine design, right? So if you see this, you can see that we have a lot of text, a lot of text, a lot of text, a lot of text. We have a big picture, we have big font, we have everything all together. But you look at this, I want us to answer this question, right? You look at this and you look at this. Which one looks more high end? Which one looks more professional? Which one looks more expensive? Like if somebody sells you a magazine with this and somebody sells you a magazine with this, which one would you pay? Say somebody says this magazine is $100 and this magazine is $100. Which of these magazines will you buy?
The second one.
Second one, exactly, because second one looks more professional, really. It looks more expensive, it looks more high end, it looks more well thought out. So you can see that less is always more in design. And another tip is that when a client, I'm talking from the perspective of design as a business again, when a client comes to you and says, okay, we have this graphic or we have this book and we don't like how it looks. We don't like how it is. We just feel like it's not nice. We don't know what it is, just not nice. And you're like, okay, what exactly is not nice? And they say, we don't know. Okay, the first thing for you to do is that you look at the design and say, what can we take away from this? That's the first tip. So when somebody comes to you and says, okay, this is our church logo. I don't like the logo. I don't know. I like the color, I don't like the logo. Something is just there, I don't like it. The first thing is to you as a designer, as a professional, you look at it and you say, what can I take away from this thing? So if you look at both, you can see that they've removed a lot of text. They made it smaller. It's still easy to read though, but they made it smaller. So probably they moved it to the next page or something. For example, this big wow something is not there anymore. You can see that it's not on this new page. So a rule of thumb as a designer or a tip is when you're designing, when you're trying to improve a design, you think of what you can remove from the design. Number 4, before we go on to designing hands-on, is visual hierarchy and balance. That's number 4 rule of design that you never, ever, ever want to break. This one is very important. When you're designing, your things have to look balanced. Design should be balanced. I'm going to show you an example. So this is an example. You see how this text is bigger, this one is smaller, and this is the smallest. So usually when you're designing, the most important thing on the design should be the biggest. Okay, I'm going to mute. I'm sorry, I'm going to mute that person. Shaitan, can you mute, please? Mute who that is, please.
Can you mute Victor, please? Victor.
Okay, thank you, sir. So the first when you're designing, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So the first thing is that the most important information on the design or on the graphic should be the biggest. So you say you're designing a flyer. The most important thing, let's say it's a video. Let's use an example of a night video thing, and the theme is God of miracles, for example. So because you want people to see the flyer and be like, yes, this is going to be a good event, you want to make God of miracles the biggest. That's what we call visual hierarchy. You want to make God of miracles the biggest. Then you can make night vigil the second biggest. Then the smallest should be like, okay, the address, the time, the ministers, and things like that. I'm going to use another example. Let's say it's they say come design a 50% off graphic or 50% off flyer, something like that. So because you want to convince people to buy, the first thing you make big is the 50%. I don't know if you've seen it before, when you are like on a website or you see a banner in front of, let's say Walmart or Ross or Burlington, something like that. They're having a sale. You can see the 50% is the biggest. Then on that, they will now put sale and something, conditions apply, stuff like that. That's visual hierarchy. And that means the design in that aspect is to convince. Moving on. So this is another example of visual hierarchy. If you look at this, this is a screenshot from a website. If you look at this, you can see that everything looks jam-packed. For example, this part is the body of text. You remember I mentioned this text stacked together for reading like a paragraph. So this is the body of text. In our next class, I'm going to tell us more about different types of fonts in the design. So this is a simpler and easier to read body of text. You can see the most important information is made bold. Unlike here, nothing is bold. Everything looks almost the same size. Now, the last thing before we go on to actually designing is be objective with your design. When you're designing, you are designing for the targets, not for you. You are not designing for, does it look fine to me? You are designing for who you are designing for. Like we said, if you are designing for children, for like a children invitation, you are designing for them. Let's say you have a website or you're trying to design your website and your target client or ideal client is a 25-year-old lady. You know, let's say you are selling clothes and your ideal client is like maybe 18 to 25-year-old and you are a 40-something-year-old woman or man. Let's say a man has a woman's store. A man doesn't want to design his stuff as for him, right? He wants to design for the person that wants to buy. You understand? So design for that person and not you. So now we're going to move on to designing actual design right now. So everybody has open Canva, right? If you're on Canva, please, we're going to go to Canva right now. Does anybody have any questions before we move on? Does anybody have any questions on like these 5 basic rules of design that you should not break when you're starting to design? This is the 5 rules that can't be broken, basically. Does anybody have any questions? I'm not hearing any answers. Does anybody have any question? Yes or no? Can you type no in the chat or can you just unmute yourself and say no before we move on?
I don't have a question.
Okay, thank you. Could you please repeat number 4? Yes, I said number 4 is visual hierarchy, arrangement of your text and your images. I'm going to send the slide. I'm going to have Shaitan send the slide to everybody. Okay, I'm glad you're enjoying the class. I'm going to have Shaitan send the slide to everybody so that you can go over it yourself. And the slide for next week will send that out. So visual hierarchy is the arrangement of your text. The most important information should be the biggest. The next one should be the small, medium, whatever you want to call that. But the least important should be the smallest. Okay, so now this is what we are going to do today. Today, we are going to design a 50% off graphic. So let's say you have an online store and you're having a sales and you want to design a graphic that will convince. So our goal for this design is to convince people to buy. And we want to use one image, up to 3 fonts, up to 3 colors. And we want to make sure that we demonstrate good visual hierarchy and white space. Is everybody understanding? So if you have Canva, can you please go to Canva? And let's do this together. So feel free to unmute yourself if you have anything to say, just unmute yourself and let's just talk back and forth together so this can be more hands-on. I'm going to go to Canva right now. I think everybody can see the screen, right? Let me see. Nobody has any questions, right? No? Okay.
No.
So please go to Canva, canva.com. If you already had it open, now we're about to start designing. If you're on Canva right now, send a message and say I'm on Canva, or say I'm on, so we can see, so we can know how many people are actually designing with me right now. Okay, good. Okay. More and more people, yes, nice. Okay, so this is something I just designed this morning in preparation for this class, right? So remember we said that our goal for this design that we're about to do right now is to convince, right? To convince, not to inform. We're not designing a flyer today. We are convincing people to buy, right? And again, we said we should use up to one image. We should use white space and visual hierarchy. We should use up to 3 fonts and up to 3 colors, right? So this is something I designed real quick. So I want us to, I'm going to go and open a new design so that we can do, okay, I'm just going to use the one I have here. Okay, everybody's on Canva, right? Okay. Please unmute yourself so I can hear you. Unmute yourself. I want to be hearing everybody. I feel like I'm talking to just myself. Okay, please, let's talk.
All right, we're here. So currently on Canva.
Okay,
Yes,
So
yes.
I have a question.
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
a question. My Canva said, what will you be using Canva for?
Well,
So
just say student or teacher. What other options are there? You can say you are a designer.
So you're a student.
Okay.
You're a student.
Okay.
I'll just do students.
Okay, good. So everybody's on Canva right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. So we said that our goal is to convince and want to use one image. So I already have an image here from my computer. If anybody has any question with anything on Canva, just feel free to let me know. So I'm going to add an image. I already have an image up here. So I'm just going to add that right now. But feel free to select an image from here. Canva has some free pictures, right? That you can select. I have an image here, but let me show you in case you don't know how to do that. Sorry, my computer is a little slow. So here we are on Canva. Just select photos, and you can say fashion. Can everybody see my Canva screen, right? Yes.
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 So you can just say fashion. There are some nice free pictures of over here on Canva. There are some nice images, but this one.
To another place now.
Sir?
Yeah, it takes me to another place. I'm on Canva, but you say recommended for you. All designs. Is it all your designs am I gonna go to?
No, you go to create design. So that's by the top right side.
Okay.
You see, sir, create design, create a design.
Yeah.
You see that? Okay. So just click on that and it will take you to where we are now. Are you there now, sir?
Yeah, I see it now. Create a design.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so we're here now. So we have some nice photos over on Canva here. We want to pick one that looks, we know we are trying to do 50% off. So let's look for one that looks really 50% offish, like picture for like a sale, something. Okay, let's see this one. This one looks nice. It looks like we're selling jeans. I'm sorry, I'm a female. Most of my clients are females, so my design might look a little bit, sorry for the SARS in the house. So feel free to pick any picture. We can use a guy's picture. Let's see, we have some. Okay, I'm just going to use this one. Looks like we're selling jeans, right? Create design. Okay, after you select create design, then you go select a photo from this side. So we are going to create a 50% sale flyer here. If you have any questions with anything I'm doing, just let me know so I can go back and let you know. Okay, I feel like everybody will have a good idea of Canva, but I picked my picture now. I'm using this as an example. So we are going to say summer sales. After you've selected the picture, you go to text. After you say create a design, can you send the message to the public chat for everybody, Ma? After you create a design, you select a photo, then text. So if you notice here, we have a heading text, a subheading text, and a little bit of body text. Remember I said body text. So heading text is like the biggest text on the design, on a graphic, right? The subheading is important information, but not as important as the first information. Then the body text is like websites, visit us at www, something like that. So we are going to select an heading text, okay? Right. So we have this here now. I'm going to go ahead and switch up my fonts. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. So here we can switch up our fonts. We see we have so many fonts over on Canva that we can select. But the more you design, the more you have your favorite fonts, right? Okay. So I do have my favorite fonts now that I'm going to just select, but you can also search it up. I have this font that I always like to use, Leaks Pattern. So you can use that if you want. So we can do almost the same thing. See, my font has changed now. Okay, let me just going to select this and change the fonts. Okay. So the most first information. Okay, yeah, I'm getting to changing the color. We're going to do that right now. So let's first type in summer sale. If I'm going too fast, please let me know. Summer sales. So we have the first information up here. So now let's say we want to make this smaller, like Mr. Sheyi said, or change the color. This is where we do that. So here we can change the size of our text. You see how that made it smaller? That's way too small. You can change the size to whatever size you want here. And here is where you change the text color. So do you see that, Mr. Sheyi? This is where you can change the text color. So because Canva is quite a powerful tool too, just as an online software. Because Canva is a powerful tool, it will automatically pick out the colors that you have in the photo. You see here, Canva has already told us, oh, I'm sorry, I'm too fast. Where did you lose me at? So I can go back. So after you pick your fonts, we're gonna go back. You've written summer sales, like our text. You change your font if you want. If you want to use another font, use it. Feel free to use it. This is where, to change the fonts, this is where we change our fonts. So you can see here, it says other fonts are here. So this is the current font I'm using right now. You can change the fonts here, and you can change the size of the fonts here. Does that answer your question, sir? I hope it does. Okay. Then we can change our color of text here. Like I was saying, that Canva automatically selects the colors in the particular photo for us. Remember, we said that our colors have to complement each other. So now imagine here we have this photo here of ladies wearing these jeans, right? And we want to design summer sales. We cannot use the color yellow because we don't have any yellow in this picture. Even using the color red might seem a little off because it doesn't blend with this picture. It's what's the word now? It's fighting each other. I don't know if that's the word. It's clashing. Yeah, it's clashing against each other. So we want to use colors that complement each other. So now Canva has chosen colors for us that are in this picture. You can see how this color looks really nice on this particular graphic. And I mentioned that I was going to show us an online tool that we can use to pick colors for a particular design. For a particular, let's say we are designing a flyer and you're not using Canva, let's say you're using Photoshop or something. I'm going to switch to real quick to show us how to select colors. I don't know if we can see, I'm going to share that real quick. Okay. So if you can write this down, you don't have to do it right now. You can write this down. So this particular website is called coolors.co. coolors.coolors.co. I'm going to type it in the chat right now. coolors.co. So going to coolors.co, I personally use this a lot when I'm designing because it's just easier. It just brings up colors that complement each other. It just brings it up easy for you. So you can see how it already has like colors that match each other. Colors that you can use in a particular design. You can see how the colors complement each other. So whenever you're designing, this is a trick. Whenever you're designing, you can always go to this particular website to help you pick out colors that complement each other. I hope I'm not going too fast for anybody. Now this particular color palette, and by the way, colors on a particular design is called a color palette. So when somebody says, what's the color palette for this design, then you can like bring out the colors and color codes and things like that. So the design term is color palette for a particular design. Did you get that? If you got that, please say yes. Please say yes to our chat, or just unmute yourself and say yes. Is this really helpful? All what I've been saying, is it helpful? Are you really learning something?
Yes, sir.
Everybody learning something. Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to go back to our Canva.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go back to Canva. Can we see my Canva? Can we see Canva now?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to send the video, the recorded, maybe on YouTube. I think we are recording this course, so we'll be able to rewatch it if we need to. So here we are, and thankfully for us, we don't need to use Canva here because we don't need to use coolors.co here because Canva has picked up the best colors for us here. So let's put exclamation marks behind sales. Summer sales. And obviously we all know that using exclamation mark makes it feel more important, you know. I remember we said the goal for this design is to convince. So we need to convince people to buy. So can we move on to the next text now? Is everybody okay? We're moving on to the next text. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So now we're going to add another heading. Remember, we are using this as an inspiration, right? So the most important thing, I'm going to make this a little bigger. I'm going to make this particular text a little bigger. Okay. I'll move this in a little bit. Okay, good. So we're going to add another heading. Now this heading is the most important because this heading is going to say 50% off. So we need to make that as big as possible. Well, not too big. Okay, ma. Okay, sir. Let's use 2 exclamation then. Is that an English thing or what? I'm sorry. Is it bad idea to use more than 3? Should it be? So I'm sorry. My this is all over the place. So my English is sorry. I will listen. Quick summer sale, exclamation mark. Okay, so we should use 3 exclamations. Okay, thank you, sir. So we're going to go on and have our 50% off here. 50%. Oops, sorry. Off. So I don't know if you notice now. If you see that these 2 fonts, they're different. You probably can't tell, but because they are different, it feels a little off. Well, I can tell because like my eyes is a little bit more trained to different designs. So these two fonts are different. So we have to use the same fonts, or you can use different fonts, it depends, but always make sure your fonts complement each other. So I'm going to go ahead and change this font to the one that we just used. And I'm going to make it way bigger. I'm going to make it bigger. Now that's too big. Okay. So you can see how that is now. We have the same fonts, but 50% off. Can I make my screen bigger? Okay, ma. I'm not sure how you're seeing my screen. Okay, is it bigger now? Just I can't see the chat anymore. Is my screen bigger now? Please, can you reply? Let me know, please. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, okay, it's bigger now, okay. So now we have, it's bigger now, okay. So 50% off now. You can see the most important information here is 50% off. Now we can leave 50% off in black, or we can change it to the color in summer sale. Now let's see. So when you're designing, you can feel free to switch things up and see how it will look like. See how it will look like on the particular text. For example, you remember what we're saying about colors. Now this particular color is too bright. We can't see it. So that's bad design. And this particular color is too close to summer sale. But because this is the most important information here, I'm going to keep it in black so that it's very bold and it's very easy to see. Does everybody understand that? We have sales and okay, taking inspiration from that. So is everybody, have you done this particular, have you done your 50% off yet?
I'm almost there.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm sorry, I can't see the chat because that screen is bigger. Okay, Oluwaseyi, yes, Yediran, you said you have a question. Go ahead. Can you unmute yourself and ask your question before we move on? Mr. Oluwaseyi. Or you can type it there and I will just answer it.
Yes, sorry. The question is, I got lost at the picture. How did you make the picture like made it half page so that you can get the words on the side?
Okay, so I'm just going to circle back a little bit. You can see my screen. So here we have photos. Let's just pick a random picture here. We put the picture on the page. You simply click on the picture and the picture comes to the page to the graphic. Then from when you're designing also, another trick is that you always pull things from this edge. Never pull things from this edge. So look at this. If we pull from this edge, you can see how it messes up the picture. So I'm going to redo that. You always pull from the edge. So when you pull from the edge, it makes it bigger. So okay. I don't know, did you get that? So if we want to make it big enough for the entire graphic, you keep pulling until it goes across. That's just it. You keep pulling until. So this picture is not the best size for the size of the graphic we're trying to do. So the size of the graphic we are doing now is like a Facebook or Instagram something. So this picture is not the best size. When you're doing something like that, maybe you want to go for a wider picture that will go across easily.
Okay, I think what's going on is I'm using an iPad.
Okay, okay. So once you click on the picture, what does it say? What happens? Does it just go across the full background?
I couldn't like make it fill the entire page and reduce the picture to like half page so that the whole picture is still showing. So when I try to reduce the picture to like half page on vertical,
yes,
it's cutting off my picture.
Okay, so if you're using a PC, you can press Shift to reduce that because
I think the problem is because I'm using an iPad.
Yes, yes. I think it's because you're using that. And I'm not very familiar with Canva on an iPad. So
okay. I will try it on laptop.
Yes, yes, sure.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? No, okay. Okay, so we as everybody have their 50% of graphic on, remember we are making this the biggest, so it has to be bigger than summer sale.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what else we have here. Okay, let's do the shop now button. Sure what that is. What is this? Let's do the shop now button. Okay, I'm not sure what this is on my screen. Give me I'm gonna stop sharing for a minute.
I have a question.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe because I'm using my phone. I can just see I only see your face. I don't see your screen. It's so
Okay,
tiny.
I think you have to change. You can switch that. I think you can switch that. But I don't really know. I can't say, okay, this is. You should be able to switch to see presentation if you're using a phone. I'm not 100% sure, but there should be a way to switch it.
I think you can swipe your phone to the right.
Yeah, this is better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, okay, so moving on, no more questions, moving on. We're gonna work on our button now, shop now button. Now again, if this is a Facebook or Instagram graphic, most likely there won't be a button on the image, but buttons automatically make people want to click on it, even if it's not a real button. So that's another psychology when designing. You want to put, I don't know if you see some designs that they put click here, and it's just a picture and they put like a button thing and say shop now, something like that. That even if you click, it doesn't, but it makes you want to interact with the particular picture or graphic. So we're going to make our button now. To make a rectangle in Canva, we are going to pick an element from here. So what you're going to do is click on elements, right? So we have multiple things. We have circles, we have squares, we have triangles and other things like that. So what we need now is a square or rectangle. We're going to adjust it by ourselves. Has everybody done that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now, like I mentioned, you want to grab when you're adjusting pictures and vectors. Remember I said vectors are logos. So when you're adjusting vectors and pictures, you want to grab from the side. But because this is just a what do we call it now? An element, you can grab from anywhere to make it to the size that you want. You can grab from anywhere to make it to the size that you want. So now we want to make a rectangle. We're going to make this rectangle into a nice size that will be balanced. Remember, we are designing, we need to balance out our graphics. So your rectangle cannot be this big because then it will just throw off the entire graphic. Depending on what you put on the rectangle, your button, what we're designing now with our button. So your button cannot be this big. Your button cannot be this tall. It just throws off everything. So our button has to be a reasonable size for the particular design we're designing. So as a designer, when you're designing, your mindset has to be, is this particular graphic, is it balanced? Does it look balanced enough? That's visual hierarchy. So we have our buttons. Everybody made their buttons.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do I take it out if I want to take it out? For instance, if you don't want that particular, yes, how do you take it out?
The button, the box, you just select it and delete.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
You just select it and delete. Okay, so we all have our buttons now. Now we're going to add, I'm not sure what this is over my screen. Is somebody else sharing their screen? Okay, I'm not sure if anybody else can see this, but I'm not sure what that is. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing again and see if that works.
Just erase it.
Okay. Okay. So now we're going to add our shop now button onto this. Also, shop now is pretty important on this particular graphic. That's what makes them take the action. So I'm going to give another example. On a church flyer, this one, our goal here is to convince. On a church flyer, our goal is to inform. So most likely on a church flyer, say you want them to RSVP, right? Or to call, what else on church flyer? To call let's say RSVP as a common example. So you want to make the RSVP a little bit bolder so people can take the action you want them to. So when you're designing, you want to be designing from a marketing standpoint that, okay, so if somebody sees the design, what do you want them to do? To call or to buy, or you want to make that particular part a little bit more nicer for them to do the action you want them to do. So we are going to put the text now. And I'm going to use another heading, but we are going to make it smaller because it's not as important as our main heading. So I'm going to write shop now. And I'm going to change the font to our fonts that we have already so that we are obeying the rules of design. We are staying safe, not using too many fonts. Then I'm going to make this smaller, a little bit smaller. Okay. Is everybody doing this? Are you able to do this?
Yep.
Okay. So remember that we spoke about balancing your design elements on a particular design. So let's say, as we are putting this text on this particular thing now, imagine putting the text like this. It doesn't look balanced. It throws off the eye. It throws off the balance of the entire graphic. So a small imbalance in your graphic can throw off everything. And thankfully, Canva, most software applications always have like rulers that you can use to align what you are doing. For example, you can see it automatically puts our design right in the center of the button, our text in the center of the button. So we have our shop now button. So I want to see, let's say we want to change our color to something else. So our graphic is not just too black and now that white is too white, we can't see it. We have this color and we have this. Well, that shop now that color looks really good. Remember, this color is from the graphic. It's like from the girl's skin or something. It complements her skin. Does everybody think this looks good? Is it looking good? Yeah. Is your design looking good yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So have you designed your button yet?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So now we have sales end July 25th. We're going to put that now. Now this part, how you created the button. Okay, so we said to create the button, you have to select an element from this side of the window and select a rectangle or a square and adjust it to the size you want. An ideal size for the particular graphic that balances out the design. And again, we can always go back to watch because we are recording this call, so we can always go back to watch everything. So we are going to do our sales end July 25th. How do you change the color of the box? Okay, good question. I didn't change that. I didn't say that. So you basically select the graphic. And this works for any software, even if you are working in Photoshop. This is the same basics. You select the particular graphic, like the elements we have here now. You select it, and do you see that? Select it. I'm gonna click out. Select. You can see here we have colors. Yeah. So we can choose any color you want. You can choose any color you want. Now, these are the colors we are using already. So we are just going to use that. This is how we used before. See. Okay. I'm just going to go back. Okay. Do you get that? Do you get that? Oyin? Okay. To change the colors, you click on the color you click on the elements. You select this part, this small box up here, right? And you choose whichever color you want from here. Okay, I'm going to move on now to our sales end. Sorry, I keep going back up. Sales end July 25th. So again, we're going to add a text from here. And we're going to select this text as subheading. Subheadings are usually smaller, but we are going to make ours a little bit smaller. So let's say sales end July 25th. I'm going to make this smaller so that it doesn't throw our graphic off balance. Let me make it smaller. So now this is another psychology when you're designing, right? Now you don't want them to see, if you see some advertisement, they won't show you the terms and conditions. That part is always the smallest part, right? In the particular design. So we want to make this pretty small, pretty small. Now that looks small enough. And if you want to make it even more hidden, you can go and change the color to something that is hard to read. You see that? It's there, but you can't really see it except you really look at it. Is everybody still on this? If you are there, say I'm still here. If you are here, say I'm still here in our chat. I'm following.
I'm still here.
I'm still here.
Okay.
Still here.
Excuse me.
I'm still here.
Okay. So this particular sales end blah 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 it's not very important, or maybe you can even say it's actually buy one get one 50% off. I know we know that, right? Now they say 50% off and then you go there and just buy one get one 50% off. So we are going to change it to that. Buy one gets one 50% off. So that's the actual information. So we make that pretty hidden. Like I said, psychology. When they see it, first thing 50% off. When they read it a little bit better, then they can see it's buy one, get one 50% off. So we're going to align that so that it aligns right with this. You can see how everything it feels like everything is on a straight line. Everything is balanced. That's balance in design. So let's see, I want us to work with a little bit of body of text so we can have idea of that. So I'm going to add a little body of text. Can somebody give an example of like what kind of paragraph they usually put on like sales graphics like this? They say, can anybody give an idea? Let's talk. Terms only available to what kind of things are always
online shopping only.
Okay, online. I want us to do something that has like 3 sentences. So it's like a body of text, like a block of text. Online shopping only. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to copy and paste online shopping only plenty times. Oops, sorry about that. Let's see if that works. Okay, online shopping only, online shopping only. Online shopping. So we are going to imagine that there's more text there, right? Okay, so this is another tip when you're designing. You see how everything feels like they're in the center, right? We want to make it come to the right side, like we have all the other text on the right side. So this is called alignment also. So you can align it to the right. Do you see that? I'm going to make that a little smaller so we can see it a little, okay, a little bigger. So we can see it better. You can align it to the left now, or to the center, or to the right. Did you see that? Did everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's called alignment too. So we are going to go back and make this text smaller so it looks good. Am I gonna make it smaller still?
I have a question.
Yes, ma.
So that's open sans light, the animate and all that. It keeps going.
Yes.
How do you make it stable like here?
I don't understand, ma. Can you ask it? Explain a little
Okay.
better.
For instance, you're trying to change the colors, right? Oh, sorry. You're trying to switch from animate to color.
Oh,
So
okay,
where do you click to get?
So once you select the particular element, it just changes on its own. You see, I'm not selecting anything now, but once you select, say, a picture, it changes what is there.
Oh yeah, I see. I got it.
Okay, so we have a body of text now. Remember when we're going through our PowerPoint slides, we said our body of text has to be legible and easy to read. So I'm going to show you an example now. I'm going to show you an example of something now. You see how we have this body of text. Let's say we come and use, let me look for a script font. Okay, that's not free. We're going to use the free fonts. Okay, let's use those fonts. Okay. So I don't know, does this look very legible when you are writing for a paragraph? I don't know if this example is very this thing enough. Let me look for another one. Okay, let's use this one. Okay, you see that no matter how much bigger we make this particular font is still not readable enough. So it's not it's not used correctly. I'm going to make that bigger so you'll be able to see that. You'll be able to see that. I'm so glad you're learning a lot, Ma. Thank you. So you'll be able to see that those fonts doesn't work well for this part. So when you're designing body of text, your font has to be readable. You want to be as simple as possible. But when you're designing like big information like this, you are free to use nice fonts, fonts that are cursive and fonts that are everything when you're doing the main information. But when you're doing the paragraph, you have to use fonts that are easy to read. So I'm just going to undo all that. Now let's use a font that looks good for this. Let's see if we can use our font that we've been using. That don't look too good, it looks too bold. So let's say we open sans, or let's use light. And we are going to make this a little bit to the side. And we're going to make it smaller. Okay. And we're going to change the color so that it balances out. So I'm going to use this brown color that we've been using here. Yes, sir. For now, let's do what we are doing now. Then after, we're going to have like a homework thing. We are rounding up already. We are going to have like I don't know if to call it homework, but like our next class, then you will show your own versions. So for now, we are just trying to learn the features of Canva, how to use things, like how to change colors, like how to add text. That's what we're trying to learn now. So after our class, for next class, that's next Monday, then you're going to have to do your own and be creative. And then we can send that in and we can look over everybody's own by next class. So I'm going to change the color of this a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry, Ma. Or Mr. Ayodele. Okay, I'm going to change the color of this block of text so that it balances out a little bit. Let's see this one. Too bright. Too dark. Looking at this, what do you guys think? Do you think this color looks good for this part? Do you think it looks good? I'm asking everybody, please, yes or no in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself and say yes or no.
I think it
I
looks
don't
good.
think it's not.
You think it looks good?
Yeah, are you talking about
the body of text?
The body of text.
Yes.
Body of text.
Maybe you center it.
I think
The color. We should change the color.
But the color is fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. So now we basically have our graphic ready, and that's it. Now, this graphic might look pretty simple, but I'm going to show us an example of graphic designs that are really rainy right now. I believe everybody can see. Tell me, can you see my, can you see this Instagram profile I pulled out? Can everybody see it?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Adidas Instagram, right? And you can see how their graphics look. You can see how simple their graphic is. And believe me, whoever is designing this stuff, they are paying them serious amount of money for designs that we can do under 10 minutes on Canva. And the reason why they are paying them this amount of money is because these people designing this, they know the basics of design. They know the main rules of design. And you can tell most the designs are balanced, the fonts are complementing each other, the colors are complementing each other. You can see what I'm trying to say. So really designing is really not about being too, you can be creative, feel free to be creative, but while you're being creative, make sure to follow the basic rules of design. So that's all I have for us today. And our take home will be to replicate, to do a flyer like this, or let's call it a graphic, a sales graphic for an online store. Feel free to use Canva. Canva has multiple images that you can use, free images that you can use for your own design. Just be creative and make it look, the main thing is to make it look expensive looking, make it look professional. So feel free to be creative with your design. And next class, that's next Monday, we are going to look at everybody's design. And then we are going to, try to criticize ourselves and see what this person did right and what they did wrong and how we can improve. So does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions?
Yes. Where do we send our assignments?
Okay, so Shaitan is going to send the email to our group chat. Are you in the group chat, Ma? In the WhatsApp?
Yeah. WhatsApp, yes.
Yes. We are going to send the email that everybody can send their design to. Okay, before we log off, let me show you one more thing. So you want to export your graphic. For example, after we've designed this now, let's say you want to send it to me or send it to our email, right? Everybody can still see my screen. So this is where you click to download. Can we see? You click here.
I can't see. Where?
Okay, you can't see, sir.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
No, I can't see your arrow. Okay, I got you.
Okay, you can see it now. Can everybody else see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you click here to download. And then it asks you what file you want to, what file type you want to use. Just use PNG. That's the most common one, and to keep the graphics still high quality. So I'm just going to download one page because I have 2 pages here. Then you click download, and then it downloads it to your computer. Everybody seeing?
Yes. Do we need to adjust the size?
Feel free to adjust the size. So right now, let's use this size that we have right now. Can everybody see my graphic? It has downloaded to my computer. Oh no, you can't. Okay, yes, okay. So we've downloaded that right now. But right now, let's use this same graphic this size that we have used. Did we get how to select the size for our graphic? Is everybody's size the same with my size?
No, mine was different.
Okay, that's fine. As long as you follow the basic rules that we've spoken about.
Yes, I've been able to download it.
Yes. Well, once you download it, then Shaitan will send our email to the chat. Shaitan, can you send the email to the chat, to our WhatsApp group right now, so that everybody can have the email to send their graphics to. So after were you able to download your graphic? Everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So after you download it, then just send it to the email. The next week we are going to go through everybody's graphics, and then I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. We are going to go through everybody's graphics, and then we are going to criticize ourselves and see what we can improve on. And then next week we are going to try to design a logo. We're going to try to use Canva to design a logo. So please do you have a question?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm not in the WhatsApp group chat.
Okay. Shaitan, can you get that information and add that to the group chat? I don't know if Pastor is
I
still.
think if he's having the email, it's gonna be easy to have.
Personally, I'll send it to you personally right now.
Or can they put the email on the card now?
Yeah. Shaitan, can you put the email on our group chat right now so that everybody can see it? Okay, she has put the email on the chat. So please send your graphics to our chat so that be creative. You don't have to follow everything I did, but make sure that you design 50% off Thomas sales with the same basic information so that we all can compare everybody's work together. Okay, I don't know if everybody has any more questions. We're going to be rounding up now or in a few minutes. Does anybody have any questions? No, okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining our class, for joining this class on the first day. I hope that we've learned a lot. I know it might be a lot today, but I'm going to have Shaitan send the slides to maybe our WhatsApp group so that everybody can go through everything again. And we are recording this call, so maybe we will have it somewhere so we can rewatch it. And yeah, if you have any questions to the email, we're replying very fast to all our questions. So thank you so much, everybody. We are going to be logging off now. We won't overstay our time, but we'll be logging off now, and then we'll continue our graphic design class. We're going to design logos next week. So we'll continue our graphic design class by next Monday. Thank you so much. And I hope we all have a good weekend. Please unmute yourselves now and say bye or say
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Really, really
Bye,
appreciate
everybody.
it.
All right.
Again,
All
a
right.
lot.
Everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. I loved it. It was beautiful.
Hello, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Right.
Bye.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Where's Pastor?
everybody.
Hello.
Hello, Pastor Benjamin Beckley of the Apartment Center.
Yo, like Coco.
That's why I created a plan.
For this meeting, they're not finished. They're not going to go. Let's see.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
I need to stop the recording first.